Boris Johnson's former aide reportedly claimed that Prime Minister's advisers would confront him with the prospect of David Cameron and George Osborne's delighting in his failure. Boris Johnson would be driven insane at the prospect of David Cameron and George Osborne's delighting in his failure to deliver Brexit, a Downing Street insider has claimed. A former aide to Boris Johnson claimed that during moments of panic over how to avoid extending Brexit during the summer of 2019, Mr. Johnson's advisor would remind him of the delights his arch-political rivals would take in watching him fail, an author has claimed. Anthony Seldon's explosive book Johnson at 10, The Inside Story, which is being serialised in the Times, claims that Boris vowed, "I'll show those F-airs." An extract from the book reads, "Whenever Boris was panicking, Dominic Cumming and communications director Lee Kane would tell him, 'There is no other way through. You'll be the shortest-serving prime minister in history unless you do this." An insider also told Mr. Seldon, the prospect of those two, Cameron and Osborne, laughing at him would drive him insane. He'd move from, "Oh my God, we've got to ease up," to, "I'll show those F-airs." Mr. Seldon also states that Mr. Johnson's use of foul languages, such as dismissing critics in his party with expletive-heavy rants, contributed to a macho culture in Number 10 that some, especially women, found hostile. An aide told the author, he would use the C word a lot around Dom and Lee. It's what he thought working-class people did. Lee is definitely working class, and even though Dom wasn't, he came from the Northeast, which was working class enough for Boris. Mr. Seldon also describes how angry outbursts and the use of foul language became more common in Downing Street. He alleges that during a garden party, Dominic Cummings angrily questioned a Conservative MP who dared to challenge the threats to deselect MPs who voted against the government, saying. Seldon added that the editor of the Sunday Times was also subjected to derogatory comments. Mr. Johnson called her a C after her paper published a story he didn't like, he writes. He reports that when she learned of the insult, he called her in to apologize in person.